This is a story that I think every Malawian must be thinking about it, because this story, it's about our prosperity as a nation. It's about our resources. What are we doing for our resources? In Malawi, there are people who have become very rich out of our resources, but the nation has been very poor as a whole. Now, there is this news I want everybody else to pay attention to. This news is on Nyasa Times. It says, Lindian fires first blast at Malawi Layer F's mine. It goes on to say like this: Lindian Resources has detonated its first production blast at the Kangakunde Layer F's project in Malawi, formally crossing the threshold from developer to active miner and setting the clock ticking towards a December quarter first output target. Drilling for Malawi's Layer F future, a Lindian Resources League prepares the first blast holes at the Kangakunde open pit. You see, that's the news. This news is about the Layer F that we have in Baraka, which is being mined by Lindian Resources. But we all know that the President, Professor Peter Mutharika, actually banned the exportation of raw materials. Professor Peter Mutharika wants our raw materials to be processed in Malawi. Nobody else should be exporting low value resources, raw materials. We need to add value to our raw materials before we export them. But it seems like this mining, which is happening in Baraka, which has just started, is going to be processing. It's not going to be processing our raw materials. What they'll be doing is to export the raw materials to another country, I think in Asia there, for processing. This is what is going to be a negative impact to our economy. Now, if there's a ban, the ban must remain. Nobody else should be allowed to export raw materials outside the country when the president has banned doing that thing. Now, the news continues to say Kangakunde is expected to produce a premium monazite concentrate grading 55% total layer F oxides without the deleterious elements that complicate processing at the competing depots. I don't know. Let me read it again for everybody else to understand. Kangakunde is expected to produce a premium monazite concentrate grading 55% total rare F oxides without the deleterious elements that complicate processing at competing depots. The company says the project remains fully funded and on schedule. Lindian is also scoping its next phase of growth. Engineering group DRA Global is leading a stage 2 feasibility study due in December, examining a 4 million ton per annum expansion pathway that could lift total concentrate capacity to 120,000 tons a year, subject to a further investment decision. Okay, it's a serious mining project actually. It means this is a large scale mining, and there is nothing like this country can benefit from this kind of project if we really are not going to be processing these materials ourselves in the country, allowing the company to come up with a processing plant other than just exporting the raw materials, because exporting raw materials will just give us little money. That is not going to be enough to develop our nation. But as we begin to process these things, these materials, they will attract more money to our nation and thereby developing our nation through such investments. I believe government is going to look into this issue seriously to make sure that as a nation we don't lose from it, but that we develop, we make sure that our resources are used for the intended purpose of developing our nation. I know it's a good project. Malawi is now busy developing mines, and if we can be much careful about these mining projects, our nation will develop, and the mining can be one of the greatest contributor to our national growth. Because as a nation, we've been depending on agriculture to develop our nation, but it hasn't been easy using agriculture as a catalyst of development. So with mining, I think we can easily develop our nation. That's the news. I believe you're enjoying watching the videos that I'm giving you. Keep on watching and keep on enjoying. I'll come back with more videos to discuss about issues that are concerning our nation. We will develop together. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.